I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your eyes and tell you that I want you. You know you make me feel so alive.
Hey, happy Monday, everyone. In case you're new here, my name is Diana from the Everyday Diosa. I am a soul coach and Reiki master. I like to think of myself as a friend who helps you heal and align to the life of your dreams. This is the life of my dreams. And today, well, we got our pig settled in. His name is Pickle. Him and our Dachshund seem to have a bit of a connection. We had a wonderful day of homeschooling today. Pretty easy peasy. Everybody was in a good mood. And now I am getting ready for 2 soul coaching sessions. I have one client who is doing her 3-week follow-up, and then I have a new client today, which I'm very excited to see this person because her and I have kind of been like in each other's energy field for a while, and I think that this client just had to get to a certain point where they were ready. Currently cleansing myself in the space. I feel really good today. Just very on top of things. A lot of like house stuff to take care of. Typical Monday. I wasn't here for a lot of the weekend, so just taking care of whatever needs to be done. You know how it is when mom is not at home. Using some copal that I'm gonna place on my ancestor altar, and probably gonna skip the Palo Santo for this one, but I just like to keep the energy nice and clear. Then I have this little energy shifter spray that I will likely use on myself in between sessions because I have about like 30 minutes between one session to the next, and sometimes we go over, so just want to make sure that I'm fully able to be present. Otherwise, I've still got my selenite wand here that I use in my Reiki sessions to just like cleanse my clients off as well. Have that here, and everything's all set and ready to go. I'm excited to dive in. All right, so we are in the middle of the big Facebook IG shutdown of 2021. How very retrograde. My first session about 20 minutes ago, it went really, really well. We had some really big breakthroughs. I was just kind of sitting and recognizing within myself how when a client has a really big and heavy breakthrough, usually something tied back to childhood, tending to be something that is more than one generation, there's a part of me that almost, it's like an overextending energy. Like I want to give more energy to this than I really should be, both as a coach, but also when we do that for other people, or we try to overextend ourselves, like trying so hard to be in this, you know, that should tell you in and of itself of, you know, you're trying too hard to help someone with an outcome or like an understanding in their process. We're taking that ability away from them. So you're actually taking power from someone versus allowing them to just sit with it and figure out that puzzle, how to put that puzzle back together for themselves. So there's one thing being a coach and a guide and to assist people in breaking down a process. I am not always responsible, of course, depending on each session, I'm not always responsible for them after the aha moment, right? There has to be a time period where they kind of have to sit to recognize how things had kind of been broken and how they were trying to put the puzzle back together beforehand to avoid feeling certain things. And then now that we've broken that apart, for them to sit with the feelings that they were avoiding, and in the next session is where we meet again and be like, okay, after we felt what we needed to feel, how do we want to put this back together? What did we learn from this part? that was not working previously. I really felt for my client because I mean, we feel that though, and that's kind of where this like little energy shifter spray comes in, and, you know, just cleansing my energy off between one client to another, even as well, not bringing my work into my personal life, because I care about people. I care about everybody that shares their story with me. I consider them my friends. Like, we are all here on this soul's journey. We are all going through it. So naturally, I have empathy for them, and I would love to be able to fix things for people. But at the same time, I'm recognizing that there's a lot more power in setting and sticking to the boundary, and also allowing people to learn for themselves, because that's their power. And I think more than anything, as I'm watching myself gain more experience in coaching, is that I'm not fixing anybody. I'm not healing anybody. I am simply allowing them to reclaim their power in learning their lessons and freeing themselves. Up on the steps. Alright.
This is cute.
Lollipop rings. It has been a very magical day, but a very busy day. Oh my gosh, look at this light behind me. Woohoo! That's the vibe right there. Just me and my higher self.
You say that. That's good. Let me see, Ellie. That looks like one of those Instagram girls.
Grand rising, everyone. Happy Friday. Everybody seems to be doing well. Everybody's good. It's a beautiful morning. Happy to be alive. So yesterday, after my lash appointment, I had to stop at Publix really quick to grab spaghetti sauce because I forgot that I planned spaghetti and I didn't have any spaghetti. But while I was there, I already knew that I was out of my salad mixes, and I picked up this apple, cheese, and walnut, which is basically just a bunch of like baby greens. This has been a pretty easy way for me to eat my salads. Like, I've just noticed that lately, is this blue cheese? It is blue cheese. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I don't know, like most food has just felt like really heavy for me. Like even last night eating spaghetti, I just felt like it was too much, like, and it was really good. Like Casey did a great job at making that like his own, as he always does. But I don't know, like my stomach is just since Virgo season, really, my stomach's just been like in this other place where it's just like, just craving this right now, which is funny because it's like soup season right now. And I'm either, personally, I guess, I'm like in a super salad kind of season. So making the salad, see how that is. I'm finally in my workflow right now. So we're all just kind of hanging out, doing our own thing until Casey gets home from, whew, okay. So I was just feeling kind of funky earlier, really since just like the beginning of the day. As I was saying, like there was a lot of like excuses wanting to pop up, and I knew that I didn't want to cave into that, but I was sitting in the feeling of just like bleh, and it is just uncomfortable. And I know that everybody can pretty much relate to that feeling of just being uncomfortable with your feelings. But and I finally decided that I was gonna sit and try to journal through it. And as soon as I started journaling, I realized that I really just needed a hug. And so I went downstairs and I went and gave my husband a hug, and I talked to him a little bit about what I was feeling. And as I was listening to him talk to me, like I realized, like I made a lot of connections as to why I was feeling the way that I was feeling, because, you know, he's telling me, you don't have to feel like this because you're able to do this because you like doing it. Like you're not doing it for the money, so like just let yourself do it because you enjoy doing it. And I think there's one thing to hear people say that, right? Like when we're talking about working our dream jobs, we're like, yeah, that's great and all that, but like I want it to be successful. I need it. Like there's still that underlying energy of I need it to be really financially abundant so that I feel successful, so that I feel worthy, so that all the time and money and energy that I'm contributing to it is worth it. What's up? But something that I discovered as I was sitting with that was that I've been trying to prove to myself that what I commit myself to has to be successful in order for it to be like worth it. And then on top of that, I've also set this like it needs to be successful, or I want it to be successful so that I can retire my husband. Mind you, my husband, like, he likes what he does right now, and he has his own financial plans. So he's not and has not ever put pressure on me to retire him. And then going deeper than that, I'm like, how many times as children did we feel like we had to do something in order to be worthy of love from our parents? Whether that was getting good grades, whether that was in some way just being like at the top, like just being a good, what would be deemed by them as like a good kid. I realized that it was much more deeper than the money. It was deeper than followers or bookings or any of, like, deeper than the relationship with my partner, deeper even than the relationships with my parents. It is wanting to be seen as good and worthy by our Creator. Like, it's this wanting to create something really beautiful and successful and then like present that to God, like, am I good now? Like, am I worthy? Like, am I worthy of this unconditional love? And I felt like God was showing me, like, God doesn't need any of that. God has no use for money. God has no use for you to build a business, to build anything. There's nothing that you can do to show your worthiness to your Creator. You were created whole and perfect and worthy from the very beginning. So the only way that we can really show our Creator how we express this unconditional love and gratitude for everything that we've been given is by doing the things that make us happy and creating, expressing through our music, our gifts, whatever the case may be, is that we're not being asked to accumulate money or things for God. We're being asked to feel and to express that feeling however we see fit, and that is success. We're taken care of already. And I think that we try to take this approach where, like, I want to control it. If I do this, like, break it down into like a formula almost. Like, if I do this, then this should be the result. And it's just not like that. It's not ever going to be like that. It's backwards even. And I think that drives us nuts a little. I mean, at least it drives me nuts. This feeling of like, I want to be able to do something. It's wanting to do something on the outside in order to be seen as successful, as worthy. To feel like we're successful and worthy and rich and happy and all of those things. And we avoid going through the feeling of it, which it's really only ever going to manifest if we feel it. So that's kind of what I'm sitting with today. I was like, okay. So frustration seems to be a theme in the house today. And yeah, getting ready to teach Reiki level 3.
We come alive in the nighttime. Something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you.
All right, today is the first day that we listed our very first home for sale. We turned this into our first investment property, and now we're selling it to expand.
What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know.
This was the very first house that Casey and I bought together. This is the house that Vivian was born in, that Vida was born in. It's just so surreal to me to think that, you know, this is where, this room here, you guys, this is what we had to work with for such a long time.
Wasn't this your guys' room?
This was our room. It just seems so strange to me now. Like, this was our comfort zone before, you know? So this was our bathroom. You guys, like, it just seems so strange to me now. And I mean, I remember moving in here and thinking like, wow, like, this is the house. And now I'm walking through it and I was like, it just feels so tiny.
This was not the house.
You know? It's just wild looking at the backyard, and like I literally had my spiritual awakening like right here in this yard with the light just coming in through the trees almost exactly 4 years ago, and I'm still obsessed with these trees. They have the most wonderful energy. It's like a little garden tucked away in the middle of the city. It's just magical. We have been walking through Restoration Hardware after our dinner, manifesting the shit out of this lifestyle, touching everything. It's been so nice. Well, friends, we are at the end of a great week. Back to Nashville again today. Getting ready to start another week. This week was just really centered around money mindset. Definitely bringing up a lot of things for me, especially since I've been really focusing on paying off some credit card debt. Just kind of the beliefs that come with that, or should I say like unplucking like pulling myself out of this comfort zone that has been just allowing the credit card debt to exist there, choosing instead to apply myself to get rid of that. I did realize going into it that it would definitely bring up a lot of feelings of just feeling very like constricted and bound to the budget, which in reality it was more that I was actually bound to this credit card debt that was, you know, keeping me from a lot of my freedom. Interesting working through that, and then all of the money that has been headed our way, and you know that we are hoping will come through from the selling of our first house as well. Just a lot of things, and I think sometimes that's really hard to navigate through paying things off, because at the beginning, like, you definitely will feel more constricted and it's super uncomfortable to sit in. We had a great week. I'm really happy with how I navigated feeling all of that uncomfortable energy as I was like sticking to bills, watching all that money come out, and then like really making sure that I wasn't spending where I didn't need to be spending. You guys, I can't tell you how many times I was just like finding myself scrolling through wanting to shop, and I'm like, I just can't do it. Like, it's more important to me to free myself from that debt. And then as I kept sticking to that mindset, like watching how more and more money was coming to me is a good feeling. I'm gonna wash my face and get ready for bed and have another great week. Thanks for being here.